Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we'll talk about the March 2025 Visa Bulletin. What is the progress in the Visa Bulletin for EB2 and EB3 and what can we expect in the upcoming months? We'll also talk about an important topic of DropBox. Now DropBox policy has changed. What does that mean for you? Let's talk about it. And finally, we'll talk about EB1 abusers. There is one category that I always talk about that is the most abused category, and some people have asked me to cover it. So a lot of important topics. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. For your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now check out the links in the description because there are some new links, including the Ultra Human Smart Ring on which you can get some 10% discount. And also while you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because that will get you entered into the March giveaway. Now first topic of today, March 2025 Visa Bulletin, which came up last week. Now I haven't been making comparative analysis videos right on the day, but soon after because there is not much to look forward to. But this time around, there is some good news for EB2 and EB3. So let's look at the comparative analysis. Now, as you can see on the left hand side, we have February 2025 Visa Bulletin, and on the right hand side, we'll have March 2025 Visa Bulletin. So let's look at the family based section first. So final action dates for family based section. As you can see here in the F1 category, there is not much of a change. Basically no change at all. F2A category also is exactly the same. I don't see any changes. F2B category also exactly the same. No date changes. F3 category, exactly the same, no date changes. Except for Philippines, in F3 category, the dates have progressed from 8th of November 2002 to 22nd of January 2003. So that is about 2 months of progression. And for F4 category as well, for Philippines, it has moved from 1st of May 2004 to 15th of October 2004. So except for the forward movement for Philippines for F3 and F4 category, there is absolutely no change in the family based section. So now let's look at the filing date chart for family based section, which I am not expecting any change. So for F1, it exactly remains the same, no change at all. F2A remains exactly the same. As you can see, all the dates are exactly the same. F2B category also remains exactly the same, no change. F3 category remains the same, and F4 category also remains the same. I don't notice any changes in the filing date chart for family based section, and this is expected because the filing date chart usually remains exactly the same, especially for the family based section. Now let's look at the employment based section. Now here's where you can see some magic.
And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever done the Google search of your own name? Look what I have found when I did mine. Here's what comes up. While some of this information is relevant, the other makes me uncomfortable that my information is exposed for a sale like this. Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, or anybody else who may want to target you. Your full name, email address, home address, your relatives' names, health information, it's all out there. That's why I have been using Aura, sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out request for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information. Aura does so much more to protect my information and my family's information from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up, and best of all, I get everything for one affordable price. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like locking the front door but leaving your back door wide open. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to my link which is on the screen and in the description and start your free 2 weeks trial. So protect your information, your family, and have a peace of mind. That's Aura.
Now here for employment-based first preference category, all chargeability remains current. China remains exactly the same, 8th of November 2022. India remains unfortunately the same, EB1A India. EB1 India remains exactly the same for the last several months. It has been stuck at 1st of February 2022. We'll talk about it in a moment. Mexico and Philippines remain current. EB2 category for all chargeability has progressed from 1st of April 2023 to 15th of May 2023. For China, it has progressed from 22nd of April 2020 to 8th of May 2020. For India, it has progressed from 15th October 2012 to 1st of December 2012. So finally, some significant moment, about month and half moment for India, EB2. Mexico has moved from 1st of April 2023 to 15th of May 2023, and same for Philippines. EB3 category, all chargeability remains same 1st of December 2022. China mainland remains or actually progressed from 1st of July 2020 to 1st of August 2020, 1 month progression. India EB3 has progressed from 15th of December 2012 to 1st of February 2013. So again, 1.5 month for EB2 and 1.5 month for EB3, which is great progression, 6 weeks of progression for EB2 and EB3 India in final action chart, which means many people now are current in their final action chart. USCIS will take action on those cases and approve their green cards. Now, if you want to know what you can do to nudge USCIS to pick up your case and approve it now that your final action date is current, check out my previous videos because I cover this topic multiple times in the previous videos. Also, if there is a unique scenario for your case, reach out to me on Calendly and I can spend some time with you explaining how you can expedite your case, not 485, but just the process or final adjudication for your case. Now, one thing to remember is because of the new administrations, interviews are going to come back again for most of the petitions, 485 petitions. They haven't started creeping up yet, but I'm seeing some cases where interviews are being called. So you might want, so if your date is current in the final action chart, my advice is to start taking proactive measures to nudge USCIS to get your case approved. Now, rest of the chart, other workers category has also progressed from 8th of December 2020 to 1st of February 2021. China for other workers category has remained the same. India has progressed from 15th of December to 1st of February 2013, and same for Mexico and Philippines, they have progressed as well. EB4 category, if you look carefully, it has actually retrogressed from 1st of January 2021 to 1st of August 2019, which is crazy. And the same for China and India. EB4 category has retrogressed by 2 years, almost 2 years. Now, EB4 category has retrogressed for everybody from 1st of January 2021 to 1st of August 2019. Certain religious workers category also exactly the same dates it has retrogressed. So EB4 and religious workers category has retrogressed. Rest of the chart remains the same. Now let's take a quick peek at the filing date chart for employment based section, which I'm not expecting any changes. So as expected, all chargeability remains current. China remains the same. India remains the same. Mexico, Philippines for EB1 remains exactly the same. No changes whatsoever for all chargeability, China, India and Mexico. For EB2, no changes for EB3, no changes for EB4. Certain religious workers category 1st of February 2021. So no changes in the filing date chart for employment based category. Now let's quickly look at if there are any notes down below. Retrogression in the EB4 preference category we just saw. Schedule expiration of the employment 4th preference category, religious workers category. We know that at the end, towards the end of the year, that category usually becomes unavailable. So that is already known. And nothing else regarding the employment-based visa. Now my guess is they will continue to use final action chart for the remainder of the fiscal year for employment-based category to file for 485. I'll put that on the screen when it gets updated. Now let's quickly talk about what can you expect in the upcoming months? So really not much of a change, to be honest. Now EB2 and EB3, although it has moved forward by 6 weeks, I'm guessing it will move forward by 3 to 4 weeks every month until it catches up to the final action chart, which is just by a few months. So that will continue to remain for the remainder of the year. Now you may ask, for EB2 India and EB3 India, will there be any lateral shift or lateral spillover within the category? And then the answer is no, unfortunately, because all chargeability is also retrogress for EB2 and EB3. So there is not going to be any spillover, which means that they have less number of visas and they have more number of applicants in all chargeability, which is the rest of the world. So typically when we see those additional numbers come in mid-year, we are not going to see that this year at least. Now what happens with those family-based numbers, if they are not given out, they don't come throughout the year, they come on October Visa Bulletin. So unfortunately, there is no moment for EB1. So technically EB1 India has to move forward and to catch up to the filing date chart, which is 15th of April 2022. So that is what we can expect by the end of the year. So unfortunately EB1 India, you are going to have to wait a little bit longer until the dates significantly move forward. If there are large number of spillovers, I can imagine that EB category will progress a little bit further in October Visa Bulletin. But until then, there is huge backlog in EB1, and every day there are more and more people who qualify for EB1. Now, mind you, EB1A is the category where people are upgrading to, but that category does not have specialized number of visas, because EB1A, EB1B and EB1C are all in the same pool. And here's where I want to talk about the misuse of EB1 category, and that is specifically in EB1C. Now what is EB1C? EB1C is the international managers category. So what does that mean? If there is a non-US subsidiary outside of the US, and if you have worked in that non-US subsidiary for 1 out of 3 years just before coming to US in a managerial capacity, and you got transferred over to US to expand the business, that is the international managers category, then you qualify for EB1C. Now legitimate people who are managers and executive, they surely qualify for this category. But since many years, many Indian consulting agencies have been using this category EB1C to promote their non-managers or who are not necessarily managers or executives in this category. And now you may ask, how do they do that? They just create documentation. Their Indian subsidiary creates the documentation. They show multiple people reporting to this individual. They show they are the functional manager, and that's how they get qualified. So EB1C category eats into the visa numbers from EB1A as well. So not only the number of EB1As have increased, but EB1Cs have also increased. And this is from my experience talking to people in the last several years. Reach out in the comment section below what you think about it. Is it fair? Is it not fair? I would like to hear your opinion on this. Now there was one news that I missed somewhere in the White House section, but it had to do with DropBox appointment. Now as you all know, if you have a non-immigrant visa, any kind of work visa, say H1 visa, L1 visa, F1 visa and so on, if you had a stamping done in the last 4 years or 48 months, and if you want to go back to another stamping, you don't have to go through the full appointment or normal appointment. You just have to do a DropBox appointment. DropBox means that you can fill out the DS-160 form, and along with all the other documentation, you can just have an appointment to give your or submit your documentation at the consulate or at the VFS counter. And then there is no need for an actual interview with the visa officer. But recently, since February 10th, they have changed this. What they have changed is they have reduced the duration. So instead of 48 months during which you may have done your previous visa, now they are only saying 12 months. It is incredibly hard. So unless your visa was given for less than a year, you'll almost certainly have to go for a full appointment each and every time. So it essentially means that DropBox facility is no longer available for many people. Unfortunately, this has already been implemented. Now, who is impacted by that? Any person who had an appointment on or after February 10th is going to be impacted. So they are not going to honor the DropBox appointment. They are going to say, okay, if your previous visa was given more than 1 year back, you'll still have to do the normal appointment. So fill out the DS-160, give all the documents, come with all the documents and make a normal appointment for your visa interview at the consulate. Now this is quite a burden on a lot of people, because this means that every person who is going for a stamping will have to face an interview. It's going to be really inconvenient for people who travel with the family in the anticipation that they have a DropBox appointment, and now they are stuck with rescheduling their appointment. God knows when that next appointment will come, because you will have to go for a full interview along with your family. So this will not only delay your stay because of the new appointment that you have to take. On top of that, the number of 221 Gs have also increased. So you consider the time to cancel your initial appointment that was beyond February 10th, schedule another appointment whenever it's available at the consulates, and then hope that you don't get any 221G or administrative processing. In order to avoid that, I have made a special video in the last couple of weeks telling you that there are 4 kinds of administrative processing with 4 different color slips, and please try to avoid any of those. Fill out the application to the fullest detail. Don't miss out any column on DSI 160. Be truthful in your application. Take all the documentation along with you to the interview so that you can minimize the time required for that administrative processing. Unfortunately, the effects of the new administration are now coming. So really, that's all I wanted to say. If you want to reach out to me, contact me on my Calendly. I set up 30 minutes call with you, tell you what I would do if I were in your situation. Also, my next masterclass is in March. So check out that date. I did not do one in February. So if you are interested in that topic, check out the link in the description. And with that said, I'll end here. If you like the content of this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.